What's up, beautiful people? Good evening and welcome to another very exciting edition of the Crystal Beauty Show. On this section of the show, ladies and gentlemen, we present to you just the best of red carpet moments. And of course, we are broadcasting live from the Boya Mountain Hotel right here in the city of legendary hospitality, right at the foot of Mount Cameroon. We are here to experience another showdown of raw talent and passion as far as theater performances in Cameroon is concerned. Yes, it is under the umbrella of the Ideal Theater Troupe, and this one is titled Malingo, written by the one and only Fonende Sama and directed by Cyril Obasi. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ideal Theater Troupes stand as the mother theater troupe throughout the entire Southwest region, and of course, trust me, you will not want to miss what they have in store for you today. We are right here on the red carpet, and of course we are going to be having a couple of VIP guests who are going to be gracing our red carpets to tell us all about their expectations and everything that you ought to know about this particular theater performance. My name is Jutala Godwill, aka Xenden the King Malick, and of course the football is at the middle of the pitch. When we come back, we kickstart the match. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. You're welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just joining us, this is still the Crystal Beauty Show, and of course we are right here at Mountain Hotel, where we'll be having a theater performance from the Ideal Theater Troupes. This one is titled Malingo, like I earlier told you, and of course this is the red carpet where I'm going to be taking some guests right here on our red carpet, and I have here with me the first guest, and he happens to be a student from the department of PVA in the University of Boya, and he's going to be telling us everything that you ought to know about his expectations and where he got to know about Malingo. Good evening, bro. You're welcome.
Yeah, good evening. I'm called Ngabe Eugene. I'm a student from the PVA from the Boya University. I came here with an aim of knowing how the difficulties you find in doing this theater work and how you solve it, and what are the aspects that I can gain from the actors and the characters.
All right, great. Those are great expectations for today's event. And of course, I just want to find out how you got to know about Malingo. Since you said you're from the department of PVA, did they come to your school to sensitize you or whatsoever? How did you get to know about Malingo?
Okay, our lecturers told us about an event, or about this Malingo event. So we are expecting to bring up something of an assignment so that we can do our own, because we are also part of this type of things.
All right, so have you ever watched a theater performance from the Ideal Theater Troupes before?
No, this is my first time, and that's why I really love watching it. I really wish to watch it.
Okay, that is very good. All right, now away from all of that, before you take leave of us, I just have one riddle for you to answer for me today. Now, as a person, what are the two things that you will never eat for breakfast?
Something like rice and pap.
You don't drink pap?
Yeah, I don't drink pap.
Okay, so you never have rice and pap for breakfast?
Yes, I don't drink pap.
Okay, thank you very much. I will not waste much of your time. Go in there and catch some fun network. Thank you so much for being on our record. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was our first guest for today's edition. Trust me, stick around. There is so much more from where that came from. All right, beautiful people, you're welcome back. This is still the Crystal Beauty Show, and of course we are still on the red carpet right here at the Boya Mountain Hotel, where we are going to have a performance by the Ideal Theater Troupes in this one titled Malingo. Right here with me is a very important personality, and she happens to be one of the students of the PVA department in the University of Boya as well, and of course she happens to also be part of theater troupe right here in Boya. She's going to be telling us more about that in just a while. Good evening, you're welcome.
Good evening.
Who do we have on the red carpet?
We have Ajungsin Sophia, a member of the show theater troupe and also a student of performing and visual arts in the University of Boya.
The show theater troupes. Tell us a little bit about that.
The show theater troupe is a body of young-minded creatives that are based on telling the untold African stories. So we are, our logo or our motto is showing the stage no mercy, and we believe learning from the Ideal and taking some inspiration from Ideal, we are going to get to where they have been.
That's a given. And of course, let us talk now about Malingo. How did you get to find out about Malingo?
I watched Malingo one time on YouTube, but I didn't really understand it. So after a while, I got to Mr. J and he told me about an upcoming performance they are arranging. So I was like, what's it all about? He says he won't tell me what it's all about, but if you come to the show, you discover what it's all about. Yeah.
And here you are to actually discover what the Malingo show is all about. Yes, now we're talking about the expectations. Hearing the title Malingo, at any point in time, what first came to your mind? Because I've had people here on the red carpet, they tell me that some thought about the streets of Malingo and some people were just in an awe, did not know what to say, dumbfounded. What was your impression about the title Malingo?
For me, first, the title Malingo, what came into my mind was the streets Malingo. Yes, because they said everything you think about Malingo, that is what is actually going to happen here live on stage. So I believe the good, the bad sides, the undercoins, the underbets, everything is going to be revealed.
All right, definitely. And I'm sure that I hope that your expectations are actually met as far as this particular show is concerned.
I know I came late, but I wouldn't miss this performance for the world.
All right, now away from Malingo, now I just want you to sample one of our quiz questions I will ask right here on the red carpet. It is very easy, and I'm sure you will have it. Now, there are two things that a human being can never eat for breakfast. What are those two things?
Two things a human being can never eat for breakfast. Urine.
Urine. And?
I don't know.
All right, let me help you. There are two things that a person will never eat for breakfast, and that is lunch and dinner. You can never eat lunch and dinner for breakfast.
Was it too much, boss?
Well, thank you for being on our red carpet. Go in there, have some fun. We hope to have you on our post red carpet to find out whether your expectations were met.
Thank you, and I hope you a better one too.
Thank you very much. All right, guys, that is it on this particular guest on the program on our red carpet. We hope to have her on the post red carpet, of course, to find out whether her expectations were actually met or not. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back. Guys, this is still the Crystal Beauty Show, and of course I have here with me a very, very fine lady. She is dark, bold and beautiful, a true African queen that you will want to find out. I'm not going to blow her trumpet. She is right here to give us everything firsthand. Good evening, ma'am. You're welcome to the red carpet.
Thank you, Zen. Good evening.
Who do we have here?
Nyanga Sandy. Yeah, that's me.
Nyanga Sandy. Who indeed is Nyanga Sandy? Because I've been hearing of Nyanga Sandy. She has a large profile, a portfolio that blows minds away. And just tell us a little bit about Nyanga Sandy.
Nyanga Sandy, in the shortest way, is a writer, spoken word poet, published author, activist. Yes, that's me in brief.
And the list continues, ladies and gentlemen. Just because of time constraints, we cannot exhaust everything. And let's talk a little bit about Malingo. How did you get to find out about this particular play?
Oh, I'm in Boya. I'm a creative, so I'm around other creatives. Those are my people. So from the word go, I knew that this was coming up, and I was excited. So I was waiting.
When you heard about the title Malingo, what came to mind?
Boya. You know, Malingo is like the heart of Boya. It's like Bambilin Bamenda. It's that place where everything is happening. That's that small street where everything gets to happen. So it feels to me like I'm going to see a small or some representation of the entire thing that makes Boya and makes a student community in general.
Coming here, what were your expectations? Was that it, just coming to see everything that has a representation of Boya, or was that it?
To see creatives live their best. Every time I'm going out to a show, a creative show, I feel excited because it's a platform. I'm a spoken word poet, so I know what it means to be on a stage. So every time I'm going to see people on a stage, I feel like, oh, these people are going to give me their best, and that's how I leave my house.
Okay. Well, I hope to have you on the post red carpet so that you get to tell me whether or not your expectations were met. Huh?
No problem.
Okay. Now, away from Malingo, there's just one little quiz question that I would love to sample with you. We'll get to find out that. No, let us be the judges of that. Okay. Now, it's very simple. I'm sure you definitely get it. There are two things that a person will never have for breakfast. What are those two things?
Lunch and dinner.
She say get sense now. She have sense. Thank you very much, Sandy, for being on our red carpet. Go in there, have some fun. Hope to catch you next time. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that right there, she is Nyanga Sandy, and of course, an embodiment of raw talent, especially when it comes to writing, spoken word, and activism right here in Boya, and of course across the national territory. We are still the Crystal Beauty Show. This is still the best of the red carpet moments. You will not want to miss out on the next guest. Do well to stay with us. We are live back on the red carpet. Yes, it is still the Crystal Beauty Show, ladies and gentlemen, and we are still right here at the Boya Mountain Hotel. We are just from inside the hall where we just savored the beautiful piece that was put together by the Ideal Theatre Troops. And of course, we are going to be continuing on our red carpet, having a host of guests. And right here with me is a very, very popular, is one of the big guns in the world of comedy right here in the 237 entertainment industry. He is going to be blowing his trumpet, and of course, we have him here as I take him through a series of questions. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. I don't like blowing my trumpets.
Well, you don't have a choice right now as it stands up. So, who do you have on the red carpet, please?
You have the only married man in the world, Copies.
The only married man in the world, huh?
Yes.
Okay, now let's not talk much about the only married man in the world. Let's talk about Malingo. Now, I did not get you on the pre-red carpet to ask about your expectations on the show, but now you've gone in there and you've seen the magic. What do you think?
Okay, it's actually my very first time witnessing a theater performance, so I'm really, really impressed. The characters really, really wowed me. They made it very, very believable. So I could easily relate to what they were doing, to what they were saying, to how they acted and all that. So it was so believable, and I really, really loved it. It was very lengthy, but intriguing and entertaining. It kept me at the edge of my seat. Yes.
Okay, well, so I take it that all of your expectations were met.
Yes, my expectations were actually met.
All right. Well, that is good. And like I said, I did not have you on the pre-red carpet, but I'm sure, like you said, that your expectations were met. And well, I just wanted to find out about that. And of course, before you take leave of us, there was just one little quiz question that I want to ask. Of course, just to lighten up the mood, right? Okay, so it goes thus: what tastes better than it looks? It smells. Sorry. What tastes better than it smells?
What tastes better than it smells?
Should I help you?
Help me out.
Okay. Well, the tongue, it tastes better than it smells.
I could never have thought.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lovett, for coming on our red carpet. Okay, I hope to see you next time. Ladies and gentlemen, that was it. You heard it there from the horse's mouth firsthand. He is known as Copies of the Capis comedy world. Of course, his real name happens to be Lovett Lambe, and you heard it there. Those were his expectations, and of course, this one actually met all of his expectations through the roof. There is much more from where that is coming from, ladies and gentlemen. Sit tight and do not move a muscle. We'll be right back. We are live back on the Crystal Beauty Show, ladies and gentlemen, of course, where we get to bring to you the best of red carpet moments. And we are right here, still at the Boya Mountain Hotel, where we are just from savoring the beautiful piece put together by the Ideal Theatre Troupe. And this one was titled Malingo. We are still getting guests on our red carpet, and I have a fine lady that is standing beside me right now. And I'm going to be taking her through a series of questions. Good evening.
Good evening.
You're welcome to the red carpet.
Thank you.
Who do we have here?
I'm Kirsten.
Kirsten. That's a very lovely name. Kirsten, let's talk about Malingo. I'm asking about, before coming here, how did you get to know about this event?
I don't know, like I saw the flyers, it was everywhere, like so many people posting it, saying Malingo. I was like, what's Malingo?
Of course. Definitely, they made a lot of noise about this particular event, and that is why you can evidently see the crowd that it pulled. Okay, now let's talk about what went on in there. How was the show?
It was okay. It was very, very interesting, very educative, very, like, in fact,
relatable.
It was so nice, and at some point I even like
shed a tear.
Yeah.
At what point exactly?
Emotional. When Malingo was already like so frustrated onto trying to take away her life. Yeah.
That made you want to break a tear. Aww. Well, okay. So I take it that all of your expectations were actually met.
Yeah.
Or was there something that you thought was absent from everything? Did you think that there was something that ought to be added in the play?
No, everything was just perfect. Everything was just like, it was just, in fact,
I don't know how to explain, because when I heard of when I saw the flyers of Malingo, I did not really know what it was about. I said, Malingo, what's Malingo? Were they going to talk about Malingo Street or what? So just discovered that Malingo was actually a person, and no.
Blew you away.
Yeah.
All right, so thank you so much. Now, away from Malingo, just to lighten up the mood, let me take you through our quiz question, all right? Now, it is very easy, and I'm sure you'll definitely get it. What is at the end of everything?
I think regret, or like you realize.
Okay, realization. That is at the end of everything.
Yeah.
Should I help you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what is at the end of everything is a G.
A what?
A G.
Jesus.
G. When you spell everything, it ends with a G, and that is what is at the end of everything. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being on our red carpet, Kirsten. I hope you've learned something today. So thank the Crystal Beauty Show.
Alright, thank you.
Thank you very much, Kirsten, for being on our red carpet. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening.
Yes, I did.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, a fine African queen right there gracing our red carpets today, and she has been telling us about everything about her, from her expectations to when she went in there and now she's out. And of course, it is a big night, very young, and of course, there is more from where that came from. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. Welcome back, beautiful people. Yes, this is still the Crystal Beauty Show. We are still at the red carpet of the Malingo theater performance, and of course, like I told you, that we are going to be continuing with our interviews right here on the red carpet, and we have special guests that will grace our red carpet today. I have here with me a prominent filmmaker in the industry. Like I said, I do not like blowing their trumpets. He is right here. He'll be telling us everything that we ought to know about himself as well as the movie. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Who do we have on the red carpet, please?
Nelson Anye. I'm a filmmaker.
A filmmaker. Okay, Mr. Nelson, let's not talk about your career path because we do not have time. Of course, I'm sure that it's been tiring, and let's just talk a little bit about Malingo. Now, I did not have you on the pre-red carpet, but just tell me, how did you get to find out about Malingo?
I've been supporting ICT for a while now, so while I was invited by one of their crew members to attend today, I made way, and I'm so happy I did, because it's been a pleasurable moment. At least I loved every minute I was here in time. So
okay. All right. So I did not have you to find out your expectations, but tell us about how everything went down. Were your expectations met?
I wasn't expecting much. I just came in free-minded. So, but I'm happy I watched what I watched. Yeah, because you can see from what we've been having. You've seen the growth. They've grown over time, and I'm really happy they have.
So I take it that you've watched other theater performances from the ITT.
Yes, I did watch. It's been amazing. Like I said, they've grown over time, and then they're still growing. I like what I see.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nelson. And of course, before you take leave of us, I want to ask you our quiz question now. All right, so I'm not going to be telling, I'm sure you had cartouche somewhere. So I'm just going to ask you a different question. Now, there is something that you will never get to eat for breakfast. Two things that you never get to eat for breakfast. What are those two?
Pumpkins and fufu.
Pumpkins and fufu. So those are the two things you will never get to eat.
I don't even imagine it.
Well, I'm sorry. Well, okay, that's a quiz question, and it actually has an answer. Should I help you with the right answer? All right. So for breakfast, you will never get to eat lunch and dinner. You will never get to eat lunch and dinner for breakfast.
No, I think there's a certain time for lunch. I think after midday is lunch, right? Yes. But that's when I have my breakfast. It's my time.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nelson, for being on our red carpet. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. Anye Nelson, of course, gracing our red carpet. He is a fine filmmaker, a man who has passed through the corridors of film production right here in Boya, and of course its environs across the national territory. Do not move a muscle, ladies and gentlemen. This is just the tip of the iceberg. We'll be right back with some more guests on our red carpet. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is still the Crystal Beauty Show, and of course, we are right here at the Boya Mountain Hotel to experience a wonderful performance from the Ideal Theatre Troops. This one is titled Malingo, and we have been having a couple of guests right here on our red carpet. And as you can see in front of me, he is a fine, handsome gentleman, of course, a fine host as well. He is the proprietor of one of the biggest shows that Boya has ever organized. Of course, it's known as La Casa. He's going to be blowing his trumpet, ladies and gentlemen, telling us who he is and of course his expectations as far as this program is concerned. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
You're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Who do we have on the red carpet?
I'm hosting Chentu, normally known as Hosting Powers. The CEO of La Casa de la Division, which is a show, a fun house show we run here in Boya. Yeah, so he's a singer and an actor.
So much talent embodied in one person, of course. He is going to be telling us now about his expectations for this one. But first of all, tell me where you got to find out about Malingo.
Well, I think I'm kind of associated with a lot of people who are members of ID Theatre Troupe, so it was just everywhere. And when it first came out, I saw Malingo. I thought it was just a street. Before I came to understand that it was an ID Theatre Troupe concept. And when I saw the actors, I saw the flyer, I'm like, nah, this is most of it. I literally don't have any expectations, as I can say, because the title of this play is so vague. Like, you don't even know what you're expecting, right? You don't even know what's coming. So I'm just coming to an open mind to be wild, because I did Theatre Troupe wows me all the time. Yeah.
Definitely. Have you ever experienced their show before?
Yeah, I think I've attended a couple of shows.
Amongst all of the ones you've attended, which one is your favorite so far?
What was that title? I've forgotten exactly, but I liked it so much. They had all these native wears on, kind of. I've forgotten the title exactly, but the image and everything is still there. They had traditional wears on, containing the princess and native doctor and stuff. It was really amazing, but I've forgotten the title though.
Okay, well, I'm sure that you're definitely going to be wild, because of course Ideal Theatre Troops is nothing short of blowing minds out here. Now let's talk a little bit about your dressing. I love the way you dress in your shirt and the responsible attire. What's the inspiration?
I made this dress.
You made it?
Yes. I made this dress. This is my design. I just started learning designing. So I just finished this yesterday.
Is there a name?
No name for now. Just
no name for
just
now.
A boy learning different things. I just like learning things. So this is one of the concepts. I just took our time after school to learn design.
All right. Now, away from Malingo and every other thing, now there is one quiz question that I have in store for you. Now, you're going to be giving me the answer. It goes thus: there are two things that you will never have for breakfast. What are the two things?
There are two things
that one will never have for breakfast. A person will never have for breakfast.
Lunch and dinner.
Perfect. Lunch and dinner. That is the right answer. Congratulations. You're the first person to have that one correctly right here on the red carpet. And I'm not going to be taking much of your time. There is so much in there to catch some fun, network, and of course, get a good time. So I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, that was it right here. He is Houston Powers, and of course, the CEO of La Casa de la Diversión, one of the biggest shows that have been organized here in the city of legendary hospitality. Do not go anywhere. Just stay with us. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is at this juncture that we call it quits. We dot our I's and we cut our T's on this very exciting edition of the Crystal Beauty Show. We have been broadcasting live right here from the Boya Mountain Hotel, city of legendary hospitality, right at the foot of Mount Cameroon. And of course, it has been so much fun, so much euphoria, so hot that it could even boil a pot of koki. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jutala Godwill, aka Xenden, the King Malick, and I have the honor of being your host for tonight's red carpet. Still, I want you to keep enjoying the beautiful programs right here on the Crystal Beauty Show. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channels. And of course, stay glued, stay connected. There is much more from where this came from. Peace, love, and bye-bye.